Welcome to Timeless Kenya. Today, we journey back to the late 19th century to examine the arrival of the white settlers in Kenya and their impact on the land and its people. The settlement of Europeans, or white settlers, in Kenya began during the late 19th century with the arrival of British colonial powers. European colonization of Africa intensified during the period known as the Scramble for Africa. In 1885, European powers, including Britain, divided Africa among themselves at the Berlin Conference. One of the major incentives for the British to settle in Kenya was the construction of the Uganda Railway, which was intended to link the Indian Ocean port of Mombasa with the inland regions of Uganda. British engineers, workers, and administrators arrived to oversee the project, and with them came European settlers seeking new opportunities. In 1895, Kenya became part of the British East Africa Protectorate. The British government encouraged European settlers, particularly from Britain and South Africa, to migrate to Kenya. They offered large tracts of fertile land in the Central Highlands to these settlers. The most fertile lands, especially in the highlands, were allocated to Europeans, leading to the displacement of indigenous communities, such as the Kikuyu, Maasai, and others, from their ancestral lands. Many European settlers moved to Kenya between 1902 and the 1920s, establishing large farms, plantations, and ranches. To make these farms productive, African labor was heavily utilized. Africans were forced into wage labor through policies like the hut tax and land restrictions, which compelled them to work on European farms. By the early 1920s, settlers had become politically powerful and were represented in Kenya's Legislative Council, LegCo. They wielded significant influence over the colony's governance and policies, often pushing for greater autonomy from the British government. As more land was taken from indigenous people and their rights were limited, resistance grew. This resistance culminated in movements like the Mau Mau Uprising in the 1950s, which sought to reclaim land and rights from European settlers. The struggle played a major role in the eventual push for independence. By the time Kenya achieved independence in 1963, the influence of European settlers had waned, though their legacy in agriculture and political systems remained substantial. Thank you for watching Timeless Kenya. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from Kenya's remarkable history.